Anyway, hello everyone! Welcome to a new video. Today, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, we're going to be doing a Metal Gear-ish what if, okay? So, what I mean by this is, we're going to be doing what if Deku, and I'm doing another what if Deku because I like the what if Dekus, was Raiden. You know, from Metal Gear Solid, Revengeance? I don't know, the Metal Gear titles are confusing. There's so gosh darn many Metal Gear games. Honestly. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, so, essentially, Izuku was born, his, you know, etc, etc. Izuku has a quirk, it's a mix between his mother and father's. I'm gonna change both of their quirks. Inko is gonna have, like, an electricity manipulation. Stop that. Don't touch that. Anyway, yeah, Inko is gonna have, like, an electricity manipulation. His father, a technopath mode, you know, like, technopathy. If you don't know what technopathy is, essentially, he can talk to tech using his brain. Which is super simple, and if you would have looked it up, it would have saved me a little bit of time. I apologize, I'm just tired. It's been a long day. It's been a really exhausting day. Anyway, so, you know, Izuku's born, and I'm gonna say, you know, when he's like 16, you know, school is attacked by a whole bunch of cyborgs. And they're only after Izuku because his father owns a multi-million-dollar company. Oof. That was a burp and a half. A I want to say billion-dollar corporation. But that wouldn't make much sense. Yeah, whatever. It would make sense. And it's not US dollars, it's yen. So it is a multi-million-dollar corporation here, because I think $1 is like 100 yen. I'm not really good with conversions and money. I'm still learning algebra. Anyway. So Izuku, you know, he was heavily injured because his father, you know, even though being cool dad, was like, no, I'm not gonna pay. You're going to let him go, or I'm going to send the whole United Nations to kick your butt. So, you know, they were like, nah, we out. You know, they messed up Izuku real bad. Like, he's gonna die eventually. You know, either he's dead or he's permanently bedbound. You know, like, he's stuck in a bed for, you know, for like some people that are in a coma. He's like them. He's perma bedbound. Anyway, boom. Okay. So Izuku, after you know, getting himself literally torn to shreds, cause you know, because of the attack on his school. No one else was hurt. Bakugo saw him get his entire body torn to shreds. And I'm gonna say Izuku was so good at it using his quirk that, you know, if they were taking a test on a computer, and all he would have to do was just snap his fingers, and the test would answer itself, and he'd instantly get 100. Literally, this guy, with enough time, could probably create an algorithm that could calculate how many years to the... Yes! I yelled it twice, and that is copyright claimed. Pause that, pause that, pause that, pause that, pause that, pause that. If the YouTube algorithm ever finds my videos, I don't want any of them to get copyright claims, so I don't get DMC'd into outer space. If you don't know what that means, even though eventually I will make money off of these videos, and if you play something that's owned by a corporation that breaks the copyright laws every time his a certain character's expiration date to be involved in the public domain is expired is in my videos, that means I'm gonna lose any ad revenue or anything I get off of said videos, or my content's weird or something. Basically, you play a video made by Disney, and yeah, that's made by Disney. You play a video made by Disney in my videos, and they'll sue me. And I don't want to be sued. I'm only like almost 16. That wouldn't be fun. Anyway, oh, I'm sorry that took so long for me to explain. I'm talking to a 5-year-old. How old are you? 6? Sorry. I knew I was off. I knew I was off by a year. Can it? I almost called you a 4-year-old. Anyway. So, you know, Izuku was placed on, you know, his dad was like, nah, we going with the third option. You know, everyone was like, what third option? Even his mother was like, what third option? And then, you know, his dad, what's his name? I honestly forgot his name. It's not Hirokoshi. Hasashi. Yeah. Hasashi looked at Inko and was like, bro, I own a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You really don't know the third way? And then Inko's like, oh, the third way. Stop. For real. Anyway, so yeah, after... Can it? I didn't even hurt you. Anyway, so... Just stop. No, you're not. Because if you do, you're not going to be allowed to play Minecraft with me ever. I mean, Mooncraft.
Can I call you SH?
No. Stop it.
Can we play Mooncraft?
Maybe. If you don't make me angry while I'm making this video, which is highly likely because I already have a headache, which makes me angry. Okay. So anyway, while Izuku was doing, you know, in his brain, bro, I'ma need you to take that to your room, little girl, cause it doesn't matter if my microphone picks it up. I can get DMC'd in outer space, like I said. So take it out of here. Go get some headphones, please. I'm not trying to get copyright claimed because I am on the radar. Also, I need to do a 50 sub special. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh. You know what? Screw it. This is the 50 sub special. This is the only thing you're getting out of me because I'm tired. I am lazy and I'm tired. It's been a long week. Until Christmas break starts, y'all not getting another video. I'm be honest with you. I'm be honest. You know, I'm a pretty honest guy. I tend to think I'm a pretty honest guy, but I don't like having to multitask like hundreds of different things because I have my personal life. I have crazy people that are involved in my personal life. I have my school life. I have my YouTube channel. I have so much crap and so little time to deal with literally anything. Mostly because I tend to procrastinate a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a tendency to procrastinate. What? No, I need these to make my videos. Yeah. Well, too bad. I'm sorry. Anyway. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Izuku was in a comatose state. You know, he was knocked out good. I mean, the guy's body was pretty much torn up from the inside. I'm gonna say he also got a little amnesia. And Hasashi was so concerned with putting his son back together, I'm gonna say he did a little oopsie and accidentally, you know, forgot to plug in anything that would allow him to track Izuku. And I'm gonna say Izuku lost all his memories because of the incident. I mean, that was such intense stress that his hair turned white. which was weird because his body was nearly dead and his hair turned white. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, Izuku, is his body, his new Robo Bro body was almost completely put together. And they started picking up brain activity. And everyone was like, what's going on? They tried to contact, Hisashi? Yeah, Hisashi. And they weren't able to reach him. And they're like, what's going on? Why can't we reach the boss? And, you know what's going on. You remember how I said his Technopath is good? I mean, it's good, brother. It's like really good. So he's already hacked into all of their computers, all of their AI systems, everything. Which means he has access to everything his father has built, essentially. And he starts not piecing. Since he already had, since he knows where he is, what's going on, and who he is, and a bunch of other crap. I'm gonna say he starts adding. I'm gonna say they only made him like to make his body look normal. They gave him like a body that looks really similar to his. See, I'm gonna change it to where he starts injecting himself using like nanites, which allow him to like shift between chill, laid back, normal humanoid looking, to full-on nanosuit, I'm about to rip you in half mode. Because that's what you do when you're Raiden. Or Raiden. Is it Raiden? Is it Raiden? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. One or two. One is Raiden, two is Raiden. I think it's Raiden. It might be Raiden. The Raiden, I don't know. Anyway, continuing onward. So I'm gonna say he also creates a whole bunch of AI that help him run all the systems, because even he knows that's a little much. He creates a backup thing in case in case somehow he is knocked unconscious. He himself is knocked unconscious. He can still be knocked unconscious by an EMP. And his servos can be fried. Hey, can you get off of her? Move. Just move. Anyway. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. This, secondary feature, I'm gonna call it Reaper. No, not Reaper. No, I'm trying to think. What should this secondary... Dracon... I'm busy. Destroyer. I'm just gonna call it Destroyer form because I'm not creative at all. I don't care. Please stop. Anyway. I'm trying to think. I'm coming up with most of this off the top of my head. So once Izuku, started injecting himself with nanites, they're trying to hack back. They're trying to get back into their systems to stop it. And I'm gonna say, bodyguard robots get up and walk over and restrain them. Now they can't move. The bodyguard robots are standing guard around the doors to ensure that no one else gets in. Izuku has completely made himself like I'm going to call it his battle body. And I'm going to say he's also created, FM energy. No, is it FM? I don't know. It's, no, I'm just going to call it. He's also created, the I think it's called the Murasame? The red blade and, metal revenge, is it vengeance or revengeance? That Raiden uses, that vibrates at such a high frequency it can literally cut through almost anything. That blade? Yeah, that one. I think it's called the Murasame. it has a trigger on it to where if he pulls the trigger, he can charge it and then, you know, do like a bunch of air slashes that blast forward. I think it's called the Murasame. I could be wrong. If I am, tell me in the comments. So yeah, he's made himself the Murasame. You know, he's made it to where it can switch into like a sniper rifle. Because, you know, he can't always be up close. He's made his body able to withstand punches from... If the Hulk was in this universe, the Hulk wouldn't be able to leave a dent on him. You know how Thor has a tough time breaking adamantium? Like a really tough time? And by really, I mean really tough time. And I mean really, really tough time breaking adamantium. I must say that it's harder for the Hulk to break the armor he created. Even if he can make a dent in said armor, it can just pop itself back into place and heal almost instantaneously. And his brain is now even stronger, and it can process information even faster. So, you remember how I said he was able to just... Hush! Remember how I said in the beginning he used to be able to just snap and the thing would solve itself? Yeah. Instead, all he would have to do is just kind of just blink, and he would essentially be able to hack into the world's mainframe. Like, he would know exactly where you were, what you were up to, where you currently were standing to the exact point. So pretty much he would, yeah, he's that dude. Stop it, or I'm gonna take it. Then stop hitting the wall with it. Anyway, so I'm gonna say, Izuku. Oh my god, this is annoying. I'm gonna say Izuku, you know, he was fully made his battle body already. You know, his battle body's all made in junk. You know, he's got his civilian form. And I'm gonna say the sword turns into a backpack when he's not using it. Also, I'm gonna say what the sniper rifle fires for ammo isn't energy, okay? It isn't his supercharged electricity. Also, while he was in there, he amped his quirks. So now, whenever he wants to, you know, his weaker lightning is blue, which is stronger than Denki's. Okay? When he gets serious, you know, it turns red. Because Jack the Ripper mode from Raiden. You know. So anyway, Izuku, you know, you know, after doing everything he needed to get done, after amping his quirks, after, you know, increasing his everything about him, you know, he was like, alright, let me out of this thing. You know, the water, air crap started draining. Izuku stepped out, and he stretched. You know, all of the motors and crap that you could see on Izuku's body were starting to be covered by the plating. The nanite plating that was now being attached to his body. Because, I want to say he didn't attach it yet, so now it's all getting attached. You know, he was rolling his neck, he was cracking his knuckles. So he can do that, because, you know, he's a cyborg, why not? And, I'm gonna say, you know, as he was walking, all the armor was completely put on, and then the Murasame popped out of the ground. He picked up and threw it on his back. He just threw it in the air, and then, like an arm thing shot out of his, not really, well, like a mechanical arm shot out, grabbed the Murasame, and pulled it and attached it to his back. And this arm was made out of nanites that are constantly just running through, like, his robo bloodstream. So, yeah. Izuku, you know, he kept walking. You know, he found some clothes in a locker that he grabbed that he liked. You know, he assimilated them into the nanites, which, you know, when he started transforming back, he was wearing some fresh clothes. And he put on some shoes, so why not? You know, he put on some fresh kicks. He was fresh. Hey, if it's a song that can't be played, I deeply apologize. Like I said, I don't want to get DMC'd. If it's a song, yes.
No, it's someone.
I would guess. Yeah, anyway, Izuku, you know, he was, while he was, you know, walking out of the ting, out of the secret base, you know, the robot, you know, the bodyguards, gave him they pointed him accidentally in the direction of the armory, and he's like, what's that? You know, his eyes were locked onto a, how you say, very destructive piece of machinery. Basically, it was the dog. Y'all know, if y'all haven't seen Metal Gear, Revengeance, or whatever. Is it Revengeance or Vengeance? I don't know, it's one or the other. You know, while he was, you know, it's Rex. It's the dog. I think that's his name. I think it's Rex. So, ooh, ouch. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. So, you know, he opens up the thing by hacking into it by just touching it. You know, the dog comes out and is like, "Are you Protocol X24?" You know, a super robotic voice started playing, being like, "Protocol X2489 da 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 da," you know, essentially stuff like that. Said, "Identifying new master." You know, it looked at Izuku and locked on and realized, you know, it locked onto his face and registered him as his owner. And it was like, so master, what would you like me to, you know, turn into? And he's like, husky. He's like, the robot's like, huh? Turn into a husky. You know, the hush. Rex was like, what? You know, Izuku, you know, he starts flexing his electricity. He's like, turn into a husky. Now. Do it. Shh. They're yelling. Anyway. So, yeah. Izuku, after, like, a few minutes of dealing with, you know, Rex trying to turn himself into a husky, he's like, alright, here we go. He tosses him a canister, and, you know, Rex catches it with, like, his tail, which turned into, like, a claw, and it's like, what's this? It's like nanites. Plug into it, absorb them, and then you'll be able to turn into a husky, because it'll eat your battle body, and then turn you into, a semi-organic, and make you look semi-organic. You know, Izuku was like, you know, Rex was like, oh, okay. You know, he transforms, and, Rex can only bark, but he can talk, you know, technopathically to Izuku, I guess you could say, like, through code. Anyway, Izuku, you know, and Rex were walking out. You know, Rex hopped into, you know, the side of a motorbike, because why not? Because I'm going to say that there was a motorcycle in there that he can hop into the side of and just kind of, you know, disappear into. He hops in it, and Izuku's like, I could make more. Nah, I'm not going to do that. You know, they ride off. They go into the city. Izuku, skirt, you know, into a parking lot, and he's like, alright, where am I, and what's going on? You know, he has the faintest memory that he always wanted to be Hero. He's like, alright, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. You know, he rolls off over to UA, because he still remembers UA, you know. He may not have all his brain cells. He may not remember much, but he remembers enough. So, you know, he pulls up to UA, he skirts, He parks his bike. He kicks the kickstand down. He, telepathy, not technopathily communicates to Rex to stay where he is unless he needs him. I'm gonna say he leaves the Murasame with Rex, cause why not? He walks up and he's like, here's my quirk, and also I can, and he says his quirk is called Nanite. So I'm gonna say he knows that if he tells them he has a mix between a Technopath quirk and an Electricity quirk, he'll have to explain how he's able to transform his body into like a Nanite suit, because they know, yeah. So he basically says my quirk is Nanite, and I can also talk to machines and create electricity. And they're like, oh, that's a really powerful quirk, So you want to take our entrance exam? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, what's your name? And he's like, oh crap, I've only had one name that I read in the files from that place I escaped. It was Project White Fang. What? Okay. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Project White Fang. Huh? Okay, sorry.
Hey, you want to know how to get rid of Corona from you?
Stop!
So I said,
Oh my god. Anyway. Whatever. Anyway, Izuku, he's like, my name is, he comes up with a name. Raden! Hush! He says, my name is Raden. It's nice to meet you. You're like, last name? He's like, crap! Raden White Fang. And they're like, White Fang? That's a pretty ambitious last name. And he's like, yep! First in my name. I was abandoned, so I came up with my own last name. I mean, I thought it sounded cool. It still does. They're like, oh, I deeply apologize. So, anyway, practical examinees go that way. Hush! Practical examinees go down the hall to the left. He's like, oh, thank you. He starts walking over there. He's like, holy crap, I pulled that off. He's like, whew, I can't believe I pulled that off. Turn that down. You're gonna break Mom's freaking iPad speakers. You're gonna bust them out. Anyway. So, he walks over and goes sit down. And, Ito tries to pull his crap. And, Izuku stands up, he turns around and holds 2 fingers to Ida's head, and then electrically charges his entire right arm, which blasts away the clothing that was on his arm, and reveals it's like mostly mechanical. And he's like, alright, Chief, you got about 2 seconds to shut your trap before I blast a hole through your head with this electricity here. Okay. Okay. Well, that was inconvenient. That was conveniently timed. Anyway, that was totally not planned at all. I'm being honest. Now it's gonna sound like it is totally planned, which it wasn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. Be honest with you, Chief. Ooh, it is cold. How is it cold? This is baloney. I don't like this. This is not normal. I don't like it. Anyway. Did I leave my pen in here? I probably did. Anyway, yep, there it is. I took out my pen before I got put in the wash. Mom, the girls' school clothes have already been washed and dried.
Not their pants.
Yeah?
They wore today.
Oh, they wore today.
They wear blue jeans all week.
This is dumb. It sucks to be a high schooler because I don't get to do that, but whatever. Okay, and that is everything that was in front of the washer. I loaded everything that was in front of the washer in there. Okay. Okay. Nope. Nope, we're all good. Anyway. Those always smell good. Oops, might have bought too much. Yikes. Anyway. It's cold as can be. Whew. Alright. We good. We Gucci. Anyway. So yeah. Where was I? Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, you know, he walked up to Ida and he was like, "Alright, Chief, I'm gonna need you to quiet that down." He was just about to start explaining about the 0-pointers. I'm gonna need you to stop.
Where are you going?
I'm just walking back and forth.
You need to go to bed, you.
Yeah.
Bedtime.
I watched this TikTok. It's all fake, but they had this person that was pretending to be like sick or something, and then they had the same person
Anyway.
and just thought I said themselves, and then the teacher just took his temperature and said how is he here?
Anyway. So, you know, President Mike's like, "Okay, scary kid with white hair. Thank you, because I actually was about to explain how the 0-pointers worked." You know, he explains how the 0-pointers work. You know, Ida feels like a dum-dum because, you know, he's Ida. And, you know, he got threatened by a ruffian. Listen. Anyway. So, you know, Izuku, after dealing with Ida, you know, he walks up to President Mike and is like, "Hey, I'm sorry if I spooked at anybody, scared anyone." And he's like, No, kid, you're cool. It's just, how is your quirk that strong?" He's like, "Trust me, I've had more than enough of my time to train. More than enough of me time to train." And, you know, he's like, "So, you're Raiden. I heard your quirk was super powerful, but that's a little extreme." "Yeah, well, might as well." Anyway, so we're gonna take the, I'm just gonna call it like the SATs or whatever. Yes, Mom said so. Anyway, he's gonna take, I would essentially guess like the SATs, you know, like you would take it at college. A colleague.
Mom, I accidentally forgot to do my homework.
Oh my lord. Do it in the morning. Okay. I'm gonna pause this right quick. Anyway, I'm just gonna continue the what if. I had to pause it to do something. My apologies. I'm gonna take it. Alright, anyway. So, you know, Izuku, you know, he walks up to onto the bus after taking the thing. He got like 100% because he big brain. It's totally not because he hacked into literally the best military, no, it's something. He's super smart because he hacked into, you know, his father's company's databanks, which grants him access to literally all of the knowledge that he would ever need. And he's got all this stuff filed into hundreds of different folders in his brain. And he created a third AI just to make sure he knows where each file is. The thing will tell him if he wants to know a specific thing. And this AI is also good at analyzation and strategies. Izuku is like the best of the other two AIs. Like, he's the perfect balance between the two AIs. The other two AIs, the chaos and balance, you know, intelligence AIs. Anyway, they're pretty much the best in their field, but Izuku is the perfect balance of both. I've already said this like 9 times. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's just freaking out a little bit here, alright? So anyway. Zoom. Bow. 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 Bink. Anyway. So Izuku, after dealing with the test super easy, only took him about like 5 minutes because he let, you know, Oracle, I'm gonna call it Oracle, you know, take care of it. And then, you know, he walked up and he was about to, you know, he got onto the bus. He waited, and then I'm gonna say, you know, Momo wanted to prove herself even more without the stupid recommendations. So she was in the front. Izuku started walking up to the front.
Boy.
What?
Don't say. I said a boy.
Whatever. Just tell me what you want.
You have to read my homework. Only 2 homework. Both of them are for reading. You only have to read one. You want to read one, the other one I can do by myself.
Can you just hurry up?
But I'm gonna do the one that I can do by myself first.
Oh my lord. Anyway.
This. And I'm gonna write my name because that gives me points.
Anyway. So. Continuing forward. You know, he starts walking up to the front. You know, Ida stops him. He's like, hey, you gonna go talk to that girl? You're gonna throw off her game? He's like, bro, how many times are you gonna bug me? I'm going up to the front to get a good starting position so I can run. Look, I don't even know her, okay? Can you just zip? You know, and as he says this, Ida's about to be like, bro, I know you're about to... And, you know, he puts his finger on Ida's mouth, and, it, you know, he lets his eyes glow red. He's like, shut. You know, Ida tries to say something else. He's like, shut. If I gotta say it one more time, it's about to go down. You know, Ida's like... You know, he turns around and walks away, and he's like, oh... People here are annoying. You know, he cracks his, you know, he finished cracks, you know, he gets to the front, he gets into a running position. You know, I'm gonna say he starts, you know, his back starts getting electrified, which is like, not really burning, it makes it look like his clothes are burning off. And then, like, his armor is crawling over his body because of the nanites, and I'm just gonna make him look cool. You know, his full body is almost done when President Mike's, you know, he starts, you know, when President Mike says, are you ready? You know, 2 halves of a visor finally, you know, hit Izuku, the sides of Izuku's head, clamping into place, and then Izuku says, let's go. You know, and the visor closes. And this grants him access to like a scanner that detects any enemy hostiles. Ow. And allows him to lock onto them more efficiently. While he's moving around at high speeds, it also prevents anything from getting into his eyes. Because they are hypersensitive. Like, if you throw a flashbang at this guy, it's going to take him a little bit to adjust. You know, get his bearings again. So yeah, Izuku, you know, President Mike says, go, there's no countdowns enough. You know, the doors swing open right as he's saying this, and Izuku just goes, boom, he gone. Boy, he gone. She said she's doing the one that she can read easy first, and then she's gonna ask me to help her. Anyway, you know, he's gone. He's just, you know, he broke the sound barrier multiple times. Oh no. Alright, I fixed them. Anyway. Anyway. You know, Izuku just blitzes the competition. Even Ida's astonished. you know, everyone, including All Might's like, whoa, this kid fast. He's like, I'm fast as flipper boy. I'm fast as flub boy.
Hey, bread.
Anyway, so yeah, you know, Izuku's already taken out robots. You know, I'm gonna say, while he was running, he turned to, you know, how Raiden's hands or fingertips are like really sharp. It fell on the floor. It's right here.
Oh, thank you, Bob.
Anyway, you know, Izuku has already broken the sound barrier, and he's already, you know, splitting robots apart by just his hands. You know, he cuts one in half, he cuts another one in half. I'm gonna say he accidentally, he saves a few people. You know, he keeps slicing and dicing robots like there's no tomorrow. And I'm gonna say he skirts after he gets like 100 points, and he's like, alright, what was All Might's record again? Anyway, and then, you know, Oracle's like, 150, sir. You know, Izuku's like, I don't want to kill 50 more. Okay. You know, he electrically charges his hands, turning them into like lightning claws, which, you know, extend his reach. You know, and he blitzes again. You know, he's gone. He's gone again. You know, he had to cool off for a little bit, you know, because his body his body can overheat, but it takes a little bit. And he's moving around at like Mach 5. So he's, like, with every step, he's coming really close to creating a tornado. So he has to create an equal opposite reaction to nullify. Don't touch that. You don't know what it is. Just don't touch it. You know, he has to create an equal and opposite reaction in order to stop tornadoes from forming with every step. So essentially, while simultaneously destroying robots and saving people, he's also stopping, you know, his full power from accidentally creating something that could cause people to be in even more danger. So actually, you know, Nezu realizes this, and he's like, I'll give him 100 more hero points. You know, All Might and everyone else was like, why? And, you know, I'm just gonna say that Izuku is moving fast. You know, yeah. With every step, essentially, he's making a tornado, because we don't know what would happen if something moved at Mach 5 while touching the ground. I mean, tornadoes can reach Mach 5, probably higher. So yeah, Izuku was, you know, he explains essentially what I did. And everyone was like super impressed. Even All Might was like, geez, boy am I glad I ain't giving my quirk away yet. Even though he's not gonna get one for all. Okay, it wouldn't do anything for him. Cut me some slack here. Also, I'm gonna say, you know, Melissa's there, because she may be quirkless, but she's still really smart. And she made essentially like the Pepper Potts armor from Avengers Endgame. Trademark Marvel, because, you know, it's Marvel. Right? Marvel is like my favorite. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. Anyway, so yeah. Izuku had broken All Might's record already, but he didn't know that, so he was just gonna destroy 50 more robots, and after he did, he was like, alright, gotta let the system cool. You know, certain plates in his armor start moving and releasing a lot of steam. You know, and everyone's like, oh, so he does have a limit. He can overheat if he uses too much power. I hiccuped while drinking water. That's not a very good thing. I almost died. Would you rather be one of Santa's elves or one of his reindeer? Honestly, I would be neither. That would suck. Anyway, you know, Izuku, after releasing enough steam, he starts closing his platings. Alright, now go to bed. Oh, my Lanta Lord. Anyway, So yeah, Momo had already, gotten her points quota. Everyone else, but not everyone else, but a lot of people have. And the 0-pointer started coming up, and Izuku was like, he's sitting down. He kind of created like a cup, and he used his nanites to condense like water molecules into his cup because he's cool like that. Anyway, that's way too much. Anyway. Don't laugh at me. Hush. I'm gonna make a mess. Anyway. So yeah. After he had already, relaxed and condensed water molecules into the thing, yeah. Anyway, he had already condensed all the water molecules into a cup. He started drinking, because it does help him, cool down. I mean, it's water. They use it in nuclear power plants, I do believe. My lord. Okay, so I'm gonna take a seat right quick, because my legs hurt. So yeah, Izuku had already done most. He's already, tired. He's chilling out. He drank some water. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm just not gonna deal with it. And then he hears someone calling out for help, and he's like, oh, why do I feel compelled to help them? He sees it's Momo, and he's like, gosh, dang it. And he gets up, and he's like, ugh, I don't know what's compelling me to do this, but I hate it, and I love it at the same time, because I wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight. I don't even think I can sleep. Question is for another day. Izuku gets up, he's like, he lands on the ground. I'm gonna say he's already gotten Momo out of there, and he's like, alright, just to ensure that no one else gets hurt by this thing, he's like, he whistles. He moves the visor out of his face. He whistles. Rex heard it, and everyone, the people who were standing about to try to steal his motorbike, see that a hound, not really, well, yeah, it's that like a pure white husky is climbing out the side of it. It literally seemed to come out of literally nowhere. Sorry if there was a random increase in the volume of my voice. I deeply apologize. So yeah, Izuku, he starts walking up, and Rex had already taken out the guys who was trying to steal his bike. They were gonna mess up his bike. He best be taken care of him. He's already running, he's running as fast as he can, which is really quick. He's like gone too. He runs over. He has the sword in his jaws. He's in full robot hound mode. He jumps down to Izuku. He sits on his hind legs. His chainsaw, his multiple not multiple. His chainsaw tail is just wagging. Izuku pats him on the head and says, "Good boy, good boy." He takes the thing, and the slider that attaches the Murasame to his back slides down to his side. He clips it to his left side, because he's right-handed, I think. If he's not, he is right-handed. He's like, you best get out of the way. Rex listens and evacuates everyone that's really close to the robot. Izuku looks up at it. He clicks the trigger on the blade. It's slowly drawing. He takes it completely out. He swings it, and just a red slash appears and, it barely grazes the 0 pointer. He's like, oh, so you're that tough. Izuku releases the trigger and he clicks it 3 more times. 3 more giant slashes appear. And no, this isn't his nanites. He's moving that fast. He's moving so fast that he's not only getting up into the 0 pointer's general area, but he's slashing so quickly, and so, with the strength of 1,000 suns, essentially, that, that the slash marks are actually traveling towards the 0 pointer and actually dealing some, pretty decent damage. Because remember, Izuku has a limiter. Until he activates Chaos, his power is limited to like 50%. 20%, alright? He's like, okay. At the moment he's only using 5. Yeah. That's a little shush. That's a little shush, bro. Anyway, Izuku, he sheaths the blade. He gets into like a stance. He's like, strike of the Lightning King. He's like, 100 strikes of the Lightning King. One fold. Now, this is a move that I made up myself. It's not borrowed from anything, I don't believe. Alright? So what it is the more times he folds, the more slashes there are. The more slashes, the stronger the attacks, and the faster they hit, and the more damage they deal. Alright? One fold, okay, is equal to All Might is Prime going 20%. Okay? Now, 100 strikes, the 100 strikes of the Lightning King, that means there's 100 variants. Now, I ask you this. What do you think 100% is going to do? I'm just leaving you with that moving through your head. Back to the story. He clicks the blade, and the moment he begins to draw it, he shoves it back into the sheath. He stands up, and he turns around and slowly walking away, when a gigantic slash just cuts the 0 pointer, is randomly cut in half. And then, it just starts shattering. Like actual light, it looks like lightning hit it and cracked its armor all throughout the thing. After it's been fully hit by the lightning, there was just a blue thunder circle that went straight to the ground, and then the 0 pointer just fell apart. It didn't even explode. That's how hard he hit it. He hit it that hard that it didn't explode. Okay. And that's when we're going to be leaving this part off. I don't know how long this is.